49% of small business owners are making less than the average weekly wage. Now, that's not a great thing. And look, it's not an isolated statistic. If you're a business owner and you're earning less than what you could get as an average wage employee, it's not a great thing. So we need to address that. Is this the only statistic pointing to the fact that small business owners are having a tough time? Well, no, it's not, because according to the Australian Small Business and Family Enterprise Ombudsman, we've got 2 out of 5 small companies, that's 43% of them, are not actually profitable. That's a lot of businesses that are not making profits at the moment. And that's the lowest proportion in Australia since 2013. So in 10 years, that's the lowest proportion of small and medium businesses that are actually making profits. And damning statistic at the moment is how stretched small and medium business owners are, is that 45% are working more than 39 hours a week. So they're working more than the ordinary number of hours for an employee, and they're taking home a lot less. So that's not good. So we need to deal with that. And there are issues around that we're facing still. Small business, we've got a third of employing businesses struggling to find staff at the moment still. That's still ongoing issues. And we're being told from the Australian Bureau of Statistics that nearly half of businesses are still experiencing increases in operating expenses and supply chain issues. So there's some big issues going on. So why are we talking about all these scary statistics that are pointing to some pretty bad situations, outcomes for small, medium business owners? Well, there's a focus on addressing the health of business owners, addressing the health of their businesses, and how do we actually revitalize those businesses? Many of these business owners who are struggling at the moment, but at the same time, there are also a lot of businesses out there who are thriving. They are making more profit now than they have since inception. They're making more profit. They're growing their business, sustainably growing their business profitably. They've identified new markets, new opportunities, but they're growing. So why are we having so many businesses that are still struggling when we've got these businesses that are thriving? Is it just particular industries? And look, my observation from talking with my accounting clients and from talking with other advisors and professionals in business networks is that it is not specific industries alone that are growing. It's not specific industries where every business is suffering. Obviously, still hospitality, retail are still struggling to get back on their feet after the events of the last couple of years. But within the same industry, we are seeing businesses thriving and businesses struggling. There's lots of theories existing as to why some of these businesses are thriving and why a lot are really struggling still at this time. And some of the key things that I've observed with the businesses that are doing really well is that when things have been tough, they've actually done a few things. And some of the things that they've done is they've actually had a plan to act on how to address the issues in their business and how they were going to grow out of those adverse circumstances during the hard times. They had a plan. And look, that's involved taking some risks. Capturing those opportunities always seems to involve some risk, but are you prepared to take that risk? But if you know your capacity for risk, your risk appetite, and how much it could potentially cost you if it doesn't work, then that's a good point to go from. And look, sometimes it's meant that you've had to adopt new skills, new learnings to actually, or new processes to take the advantage of those opportunities. And these business owners that are thriving at the moment have taken that action. Now, it's not too late. It's not too late. And look, the other thing I will say is that these guys didn't just act alone. They actually had close contact with their advisors. It wasn't a case of they've been silent for months, years, and then suddenly got advice. They've been actively involved, getting advice on a regular basis and constantly refining their plans. So these are the guys that are really thriving, but that's not the case for most businesses at the moment. So why are we focusing on this? Because we want to have a successful business, and some of the key indicators are that, well, firstly, these businesses that are successful are making good profits. I mean, that's one of the outcomes that we're looking for as a business owner, is to make profits. They've got their HR, their employment sorted. They've got that under control, because a lot of businesses are still struggling to find employees. So these businesses have got that HR resourcing, they've got that under control. They've identified who they need and when they're going to hire, and what resources they're going to need for the future growth, and what are the key people. And they've been on that. They've been working constantly on their HR strategy. So they've got the resources. They're not overspending though. They're not overspending on marketing or being excessive or overstocking. They've got very good financial management in place. They understand their financial position. They're monitoring that closely. They've got good marketing plans where they need to grow their business by creating new sales opportunities. They've got that process in place. They know what works for them, and they're not overcomplicating it. It's a simple process. And they know exactly where they're at. They can tell you where they are on the journey. They can tell you what the journey is going to look like and where they're heading and where they are exactly, because they've got their financial numbers up to date. They've got their marketing figures up to date. They've got their sales conversions. They know all this information, and they can tell you what needs to be fixed.